בואו נראה מה קורה ברומניה. יש שניים איתנו, שניים. הפרופסור נרקיס קופקה הוא מנהל בית חולים גדול בבוקרשט, ופאולה סלינג היא זמרת מאוד מפורסמת ברומניה. גילוי נאות, היא גם חברה אישית שלי הרבה מאוד שנים, כבר 30 שנה. והיא התחסנה וגם מנהלת קמפיין ברשתות החברתיות למען חיסונים. שניהם איתנו, אנחנו נרצה לבקש מהם עזרה בהבנת הסיטואציה, איך הופכים מדינה שלא מתחסנת למדינה שמתים בה ברחובות כמעט, עוד מעט. אז פאולה ופרופסור קופקה, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Professor Kopka, give us please the exact information on how much people are dying, how much people are getting infected every day in Romania at this point.
According to the population, the number of inhabitants of Romania, and comparing with Israel, I think we are double here, as inhabitants. But the number of deaths per day, it's around 400. That means I will compare to 200 possible in Israel. You never had this number in Israel of deaths per day.
So you have 400 people, between 400 and 500 people dying every day in hospitals. What is the situations, around the country? Because I saw some footage from Bucharest showing that there are no more beds. People are sitting on chairs and that's it.
Yes, this is true. Unfortunately, we didn't prepare the fourth wave of COVID. And there were made some political mistakes during this year. I can tell you some of mistakes we made for everybody not to repeat them. First of all, the scientific committee is not made by epidemiologists or virologists. It's made by administrating people. And there was a strong mistake also, the communication. That caused to low number of vaccinated people. The anti-vax theories raised here, and because of the bad communication between the political staff and the medical staff, and the people in the first part, the people didn't vaccinate, only 30%. And that means that now we have 1,700 intensive care beds all occupied. There are no free beds. And also this number is rising every day.
So much people are not getting vaccinated. Paula, I wanna ask you about what happened to you just a few months ago, when you posted on Facebook that you got vaccinated, and you're very famous in Romania. Everybody knows you. What happened to this post? What were the responses that you got?
It's very difficult to communicate these things to the public of Romania, because everybody thinks that you're part of the conspiracy and that you have been given money to promote the measures we need to take to get out of this fourth wave. I think that many people still believe that COVID-19 is just a flu. And I think this comes from the gaps in the way the Department of Public Health communicated the correct effect of the virus on the human body. I think also many people did not understand the danger, and many of them don't do the real calculations regarding benefits and risks of acknowledging and taking all the measures to protect themselves. They fear the long term.
You are talking, excuse me for interrupting you, but we are talking about conspiracy theories. Now, we both grew up in Romania. We know that that's folklore. Everybody likes to talk about conspiracy theories and so on. But we are in the 21st century. Romania is part of the European Union. You got vaccines. I mean, Romania got vaccines. There's no problem. The political system did not come out to encourage people to go and get the vaccines. What happened during these 8 months since Romania got the vaccines?
there were many public images that contradicted the scientists, and there has been a decreasing trust in the science community because people who don't study very much science, they don't understand the science evolves, and there might appear some changes in the way we react to all these measures. So they say it's part of the conspiracy. It's easier for them to think this way than to understand that science evolves, and the moment we discover more things, we adjust our rules, right? So because of all these things, people needed to believe a few public images that came out and began to say that all these measures are not necessary, the masks don't work, and the vaccine is some part of a huge conspiracy.
Yeah. You know, Paula, here in Israel, a lot of artists and the public figures went out of the way and just to help, just to make it, to convince people to go and get vaccinated. Now, you are one of the artists that said, people go get the vaccine. Your colleagues, other artists, singers, actors, did join you or not? You were alone? You weren't alone, I am guessing.
No, there are many artists who are trying to do this, but there are really, there's such a huge pressure on them because they really think you're part of the conspiracy, and this is very hard. It's harming you because you see so many people dying, and all these deaths could have been avoided or at least lowered the number. They say that why doing the vaccine since you could still get the disease, and they don't understand the mechanism, and there's nobody to explain it once and for all. I think the Department of Health should do many TV shows and enter media with clear effects, with clear statistics, and with the clear things that happen to the human body while having the vaccine or not having it, and having the COVID-19 disease. So I think communication is the key here, and the decrease of the trust people have in the medical community and in the Department of Health is also because of the lack of communication.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Paula Selling. Professor Kopka, I want to sum it up with you, Professor. How big the catastrophe is. I interviewed a senior doctor from the WHO. We're going to show the interview just in a few minutes from now. And she told us that they are sending a special team to Bucharest in order to try and have a dialogue with the Ministry of Health and so on to increase the number of people vaccinated. Is it going to help, or maybe it's too late?
It's a good idea for the World Health Organization to make a visit here, because maybe it will improve the communication between the government and the citizens. And as Paula said, she is an artist, a great artist in Romania, but not the artist must educate, as she said also, the people. We have to do it, the doctors. And when you don't respect the doctors and don't trust them, you don't present their real opinions, good opinions in the vaccine. You don't make some scientific community very specialized in how this vaccine is doing in the human body. Of course, you won't have the trust of the family doctors into the government politics. And talking with the correct message to the family doctors and helping them even with the money to convince the people is not a bad politics in this moment, because it will help us to get vaccinated soon, and is better sometimes than neither. So I hope this will open the eyes of the political leadership, and maybe they will make a new government which will increase the trust of the people in the medical and in the Ministry of Health. It was none this year. They couldn't communicate. They are not specialists in medical field. They don't understand the human body needs. They don't understand the Romanian people.
Professor Kopka, do you fear that if you go on like this, people will drop dead on the streets, like we saw in the first wave, like in Italy and places like that?
I'm sure the number will increase soon. So we are at the end of the beds. There were not beds, new beds bought, or even ventilators, medical ventilators. There are no monitors because the bed is not like in our bedroom. It's a special bed of intensive care.
Yeah.
But first of all, we have to educate the people to come to the hospital before you need the intensive care unit. This is very important.
Unbelievable.
This politics,
so tragic.
Communication and medical communication, a very strong one, will increase the number of vaccinated. But now is really difficult, and it will be worse.
Professor Kopka, Paula Selling, thank you so much, both of you, for talking with us this morning. And our prayers go out to you in Romania. And this is a tragedy, absolutely a tragedy. We are hoping that people will listen to the doctors and not to the conspiracy theorists. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.